Hey guys, welcome back to Business with Casty Ray. I have been sitting on the edge of my seat waiting to release this episode. I think I've had it for like a month or maybe even a month and a half, and I was wanting to release it early, but I was like, no, stick to the schedule, release one once a month. This interview is going to blow you away. Even just her story, how she handles herself, where she's brought her business, and where she hopes to bring her business even further is just amazing. Like, I had such a great time interviewing her, learning more about her, more about the company. And I even walked in and said, I feel like I already know you just based off social media. And she's like, that is like the best compliment I could ever get, because that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to connect with y'all on social media and connect with our customers, not just having, purchasing customers come in and out the door. Haley Wilson, the owner of the Happiest, started out in corporate America. She always knew she wanted to go off, do her own thing, so she started a small business that has now turned into a hat company that is being sold nationwide into different department stores as well, like Dillard's and Tilly's. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you to Haley Wilson, the owner of the Happiest. Hey guys, and welcome back to Business with Casty Ray. I am so excited for the guests that I have on. So this is Haley Wilson, the owner of the Happiest. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So I saw you on Instagram. I feel like we have like a few mutual friends, but I swear I've been following you probably for 3 years now. Like, I feel like I've known you the entire time, and this is obviously our first time meeting. So this has been great.
Well, that's the best compliment, because I've always tried to run my Instagram like very casual, very you should know me and we're all friends.
Right,
So like
yeah.
when people say that, I'm like, feels like we already know each other.
Right.
Like, it's the best compliment I can
Right.
get.
It's the social media. So please introduce yourself a little bit, tell a little bit about the Happiest, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Well, I'm Haley Wilson. I'm 28 years old, and I grew up kind of in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Mansfield, if anybody knows where Mansfield is.
Yeah.
And I went to Texas Tech. I got a degree in PR.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
Yes, I stayed and got my master's
Mm-hmm.
in mass communication. So I wouldn't say I'm really using either degree. Kind of am, kind of not.
Right.
And then I graduated in 2019 with my master's, moved back to Dallas, and then now I'm running my hat empire. There's a few things in between.
Yeah.
And I got married in 2020
Yeah.
to my high school sweetheart.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's a big reason that I'm able to do everything that I'm able to do today. So,
Well, that's awesome, because obviously I was, trying to do my research, and I was looking at your Instagram a few days back, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's married. And I was like, literally was in deep, and I was like scrolling forever, but y'all are high school sweethearts. So
Yes.
y'all met in high school.
Yep.
Did he go to tech as well?
No, we
wow.
did long distance for 5 years.
Holy cow. Wow. That's props. Honestly, props to the both of you.
Yeah, everyone hears that. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it personally, because
Right.
it was like we trusted each other very much. I was at Texas Tech. He was at a smaller school in Abilene, which is like 2.5 hours from Tech. So
Right.
we didn't see each other all the time, but it was great because like I got to have my college experience and be with all my girlfriends all the time, go to all the parties, have all the girl time, and never had to like split time with my boyfriend.
Right.
So I always missed him, and like I hated
Yeah.
it at the time, but I look back and I'm like, honestly, it was like
For
really
the best,
great.
yeah. And like you have your own like identity too, because like if
100%.
you go to the same school, you're always together. It's like, oh, this is them together. Like people knew you as you rather than like a couple. So I also think that's great.
100%, and I'm very much my own person, so that's very good for me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You
I
said
don't
I
need to
needed
be,
that.
yeah, I don't need to be tied to anybody else.
Right.
So it was really nice to like have my own identity, be my own self, and go and party and be with my friends all the time.
Right. No, that's awesome. And I feel like that's where definitely some of our connections stem from is Texas Tech. Obviously I went to Tarleton, but I feel like they're so close to the same schools of like everyone who lives in Texas goes most likely to a Texas school, or
Right.
tons of people went to Tech that I knew. So I was like, there's the connection that I know. But awesome. Okay. So I want to get into the Happiest, because I'm obsessed with this brand and I need to know basically where everything started. So was this always a thought, going through college, everything out of college? Did you always want to have your own business, or did you kind of just like stumble upon this?
Both, like, kind of.
Right.
So if we like look further back, so my grandpa on my mom's side was an entrepreneur. My grandpa on my dad's side was an entrepreneur, and my dad has always had his own businesses as well. Like, sometimes they've been his full-time job, sometimes they've been his part-time job.
Right
Now he has his main gig, and then he has his side business he runs out of his house. So I've been, like, I think, surrounded with entrepreneurship. It wasn't something that like I thought about all the time growing up, but when I got to college, I really did think, like, okay, I'll get a corporate job. Like, I don't know why entrepreneurship wasn't at the forefront of my mind originally. But then I remember one time I was studying abroad in college, and I was in this meeting for some PR something or another, and it crossed my mind. I was like, what if I started like an online boutique?
Right.
And it was really, I mean, I guess that was like 2017. It's like people had, like, online stores were existing, but like
not what they are today.
Right.
To say the least.
Everyone has one now, which is great, but it's like, it wasn't that big back then. And the thought was honestly kind of fleeting.
Yeah.
Came in my brain about a month or so later. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And then I was back to like my corporate thought. And it kind of resurfaced. How far back do you want me to go? Because I can really...
No, please go all the way back. Okay. I'm always so curious just to know, because I think it's almost a given to most people of, like, you go to college and you get into the corporate world and, like, maybe start a business after that on the side and make it, work up. Not many people, go out of college, start their own business and, make it big in that sort of way. Yeah. So please go as far back as you'd like.
So, like, the full story is I graduated college and I had always wanted to work at Southwest Airlines.
Okay.
Because I knew that I didn't know what I wanted to do. And this is the theme of my life. But I knew that if I worked somewhere that I was happy, I didn't care and I could figure it out. Right. And I knew that Southwest had a really good culture. So I was like, okay, I can work there. I can get any job, hopefully. And then I can figure out what I want to do once I get there. But then know that it's a positive environment. It's good culture. So that's why I wanted to work at Southwest. So I got a job at Southwest Airlines. I was on contract with them, which is basically they hire you through a third party for like 6 months. Right. And it's a really smart business model, in my opinion, because it's their way to like try before they buy. Because if you don't mesh well with the culture.
Right. They're like, never mind, you're out.
Yeah, contract expired. Sorry, we don't have the budget to hire you.
Yeah.
And if they like you, then your contract is no more and you become a full-time employee. So I was on contract. They put nearly, I would say it was like 95% of their employees are on contract before they're hired.
That's crazy. I did not know that, but
I think not for flight attendants,
a good approach,
but for corporate,
right?
Yeah, and I think that's why they have such good culture, because they're never stuck with people that didn't work out.
You have a 6 months trial and you can make it or break it,
and they never have to fire you. It's just your contract ended. So it keeps their name really clean. I think it's really smart.
I'm going to keep that in my back pocket.
Right? Yeah, when you start your business. I think it's really smart. So I worked there for 4 months on contract. I was on a really good track. Like, everyone on my team was like, yeah, you're going to get converted. You're going to get converted.
Right.
BTW, this was in 2020.
The year everyone loves.
Right. So at 4 months in, COVID hit and Southwest laid off all their contractors. Again, great for them, because they didn't have to report any layoffs, even though they laid off lots of people.
Right.
So I got laid off. I remember the day I got laid off, I went home, called my husband, crying in bed, and I was crying, telling him. So the thing I really liked working about Southwest is they didn't have a dress code, and you could wear whatever you wanted.
Whatever you wanted, yep.
So I would wear hats. I would wear like fun pants and fun outfits. And like everyone was always like, you dress so fun. That was like my favorite part of the job. I could wear whatever I wanted. So I came home that day. I was crying to my husband and I was like, I don't want to have to get another job where I have to wear slacks.
Wear clothes? No, God, please.
He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I was devastated. So anyways, that happened. I didn't have a job for a little bit there. And then I ended up working at a wedding venue. My family friends own a wedding venue.
Okay.
And they needed someone. And so I helped plan events. I met with brides, helped them pick out their linen colors, like figured out their timeline, all that stuff. Like kind of a wedding planner, kind of like a loose, I'd use that in a loose term, but on the side of the venue. And I did that for about 2.5 years. My last year working there, I had this idea and I was like, back to the boutique thing.
Right.
So I was like, I want to start a boutique. I had this idea, but the way that I do everything in business still till this day is it doesn't really have to make sense on paper. I always go with my intuition.
Right.
I always go with my gut. It's never led me astray.
Which, as you should. I feel like everyone needs to know that. Just go with your gut. It'll work out.
It is, and it's like, well, this doesn't make sense on paper, but if like it makes sense to you, like
give a damn.
it doesn't matter. And so I had the idea. I sat on it for like 9 months because I knew, I was like, it's just not the time. And I didn't ever want to jump the gun. I was like, I know the timing's going to come eventually. And I was like, truly, I was like, I know I will just wake up one day and be like, oh, today's the day.
Right. We're doing it.
It's exactly how it happened. And so I figured out the business name. I wanted to go with the Happiest. And it was started as a basically online boutique. We sold clothes. We didn't make anything. We didn't have any hats.
Right.
It was just a store. And I started that. And I think about after 3 months or so, I quit at the wedding venue, not because I was making a dime. Nobody get that twisted.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I feel like a lot of people would never mention that and just be like, oh yeah, it's been great. And it's like, oh no, babe, I was not making a dime. So thank you for mentioning that.
Well, and that's why I say like it really is so much, everything I'm able to do is due to my husband, because he is so supportive and he's very successful in his job. And he's like, if you think that you're going to succeed, then I know that you're going to succeed. So like, he was like, try it out for 6 months and make $0.
Yeah.
But if you see growth, like then continue.
That's all
to
that
do
matters. Right.
And so, yeah, I was making $0. Do not recommend people just quitting their job and not having a source of income. But I did that. It went well.
So what year was that in, that you quit your job and went full-time the Happiest?
That was, so I started the Happiest in September of 2022.
Okay.
Quit my job in January of 23.
Okay.
And so that whole year I stayed, I didn't have a job that whole time. I still wasn't making any money. And the boutique, like it made some money, but like
so we were making it.
not really. It was like, it was fine. I could not pay myself. I was completely out of my house. I really wasn't making any money, but it was like, I loved what I was doing and I was putting everything into it. And so,
and sometimes that's all that matters. And like you said, like if you have a significant other who gives you the ability to do that, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, I mean, we're still young, but I think 24 or 25, it's like, we're young. We don't have any kids. We don't have
now's the time to do it.
Responsibility. Yeah. If any time's the time is now. And so we put everything into it. And like that year, so that was, what did I say? That was 2023. So then no hats. I guess I did a few hats maybe at the end of that year.
Okay. End of 23.
Yeah, I started with 2 hats. I had a hat that's black and it says the Happiest join the club.
Yes.
And then I made a green hat that said bitchin'. And those were 2 hats I started
history
with.
From there.
And yeah, literally I bought 15 of each hat and I was like, I will never financially recover from this if I don't sell these 30 hats.
This is the minimum, 15, and that's all I have to buy.
Yeah, I was like, and if I don't sell these, like, holy crap, like, what am I going to do? And they sold out in 8 minutes online, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, I'm rich.
You said, hell yeah, I made it.
Yeah, I was selling
my 30 hats.
Yeah, I sold them for like $35. I probably made a couple $100s, and I was like, I'm freaking rich.
Right.
But I restocked them, and they sold out again. I restocked them, they sold out again, and I only had like 2,000 followers. So like, at that time, doing something like that was like really big for me.
Right. So would you say that you were just marketing on social media, word of mouth? I mean, what were you doing to bring people to your website?
It was literally just social media and like, I would say word of mouth, but no in-person events. Like I never did pop-ups or anything, which I don't really know why I didn't do that. I think that would have been a good idea, but everything I was doing was completely online. It was on Instagram. I was doing no paid marketing. I was not on TikTok. I didn't post on Facebook. It was literally just Instagram. And I would tell my friends, and then if they would tell their friends, and that's how I got to like my 2,000 followers. Right. It was not much, but that's the only way I grew. And I didn't put any money into any marketing. It was all just I'm going to post and like hope people show up.
Right. And I hope for the best. So you would start making hats at the end of 23. So when was the big movement to hats only or more hat oriented, or what did the year, 24 and 25 look like?
So I did the couple hats in 23. They did well. So I added just like one or two other styles to my website, and those did okay. And I was like, okay. So one day at the end of 2023 in December, I remember I was like, I wonder if I could wholesale my hats and sell them into other stores. And so I looked up, I live in Dallas. And so Dallas has a wholesale market at the World Trade Center.
Right.
And so I looked up the next market, and it was going to be in January, so a month later. And I was like, okay, so I look up the booth cost. Booth cost is $2,800. I have $2,900 in my bank account.
Perfect.
And
so we're going for it, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just going to do it.
Right.
And we'll see. By that time, I think I was going to have like maybe 8 or 10 hat styles that I could offer people, but I was like, I can let them do it in any color they want to, and maybe people will buy them. I don't know. So I booked the booth at market, had no idea how to wholesale, no idea how to do anything. If I showed you a picture of my booth at market, you would be like, this is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. It was,
Hey, everyone has to start somewhere. And you look back on that picture and you're like, thank God I've made it this far.
no,
Thank
literally.
God.
And even at the time though, I did it and I was like, this looks great.
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, what the hell?
It's like the 2016 trend. I'm like, I thought I looked amazing, but holy cow.
Right. You're like, lighten up the eyeliner.
Right.
What's going on? So yeah, my booth, there was 2 sets of shelves. Like the top 2 shelves had hats, bottom 2 shelves on both sides, just empty.
Right.
I was like, okay, whatever.
No, it is what
and
it is.
So I went to market. I made my money back for the booth.
Oh my God.
I think I made $3,000. I was like, okay. And
Going
so
places.
there was another market in March, 2 months later. So I booked the booth again for March. Doubled my money that time, and I was like, okay.
We're on to something. I've got this down.
I was like, we've got momentum. And
Yeah.
you cannot recreate momentum. So I was like, we're going to keep going.
Right.
And then, I started posting on TikTok in April. Had a couple viral videos on TikTok in April that really did well for my online store. So I got a bunch of orders for a couple hats, and that really blew me up on TikTok. Like, I was big on TikTok probably for like 2 months. I have like 10,000 followers on TikTok.
Right.
It's not continued to be big.
But I mean, still, like those one big videos can like sell out your whole website.
Yeah.
Like that's all it takes.
Well, and they sold out all the the styles that I had. I started putting pre-orders up, let people pre-order them, and would ship them when they would come in. And so, that was a big deal. And then in May of that year, I got picked up by a wholesale showroom. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the showrooms.
Yeah. But please explain. I feel like a lot of people aren't familiar.
And it's confusing. So basically in the Dallas World Trade Center, there's temporary booths that you can buy, which is what I was exhibiting in the January and March that I was paying for. The way the showrooms work is they are in the markets all year long. People can go up to these showrooms all year long, and they would have several brands in them. So they would have my brand, and they would have a shoe brand, and a jewelry brand, and maybe like 10 different apparel brands.
Right.
So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for people who have boutiques or stores. They go up there, they can look and buy a bunch of different brands all in one.
Right, because I actually interviewed with a showroom there called LNA.
Oh, yeah.
Showroom. Yeah. Loved them. They were great. They were great. But it's just crazy that like not a lot of people know there's like obviously a huge market, a few times a year that you can, rent out temporary spots, but also like people go there year round to just shop at the showrooms that are there year round.
Yeah, and totally. And so there's reps that work in the showroom that it's their whole job to sell these brands. And as the brand, when they make sales for you, you pay them a commission, and that's how the whole thing works.
Right.
So I got picked up by a Dallas showroom, I guess that May of 24. And then a month later, I got picked up by an Atlanta showroom. So my stuff was being shown in Atlanta. And the way the showrooms work too is like Texas is in charge of like the 8 surrounding states, and Atlanta's in charge of the 8 surround, like it's sort of broken up like that. That's the easiest way to explain it. So they sell like to that whole territory. And then in August of that year, so a couple months later, I got picked up by a Chicago showroom. And then in December of I want to say last year, but I guess 24.
24.
We're in 26.
Right. I know, it's crazy.
I got picked up by an LA showroom. So our stuff is being shown basically all over the country all the time, being sold for us. We're paying commission for all of that. But that has really helped expand our brand because it's me in Dallas and my marketing girl, Brooke, and then Allie, who is here part-time packing our orders and everything. So our reach ourselves could not be as much as it is with all of these showrooms that it's literally their job to rep us to all the surrounding states.
And that's year round of where the showrooms that you're partnering with. That's not like temps just going in.
Right.
So did you market yourself to them? Did you reach out to them? Did they reach out to you? I mean, were you like putting in the work being like, please have me in your showroom?
No, honestly.
No, and that's great. That's awesome.
No, because honestly, I didn't really know how it worked. And I was really, it was still really new for me. Like to go from selling wholesale for the first time ever in January and then within 12 months being in 4 showrooms, it's like they're selling stuff all the time and you're fulfilling orders and entering orders and charging people's shred cards. Like it's a lot. And I was like, no more showrooms. Thank you.
Please, I need a break for one second.
I had the one Dallas one and they were like, we're going to get you in an Atlanta one. I was like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can do it. And then I was like, okay, fine. I have the 2. And then they're like, you need to get in Chicago. I'm like, I've done too much. It's too much. I still didn't have an employee at that time.
And was this all still out of your house?
This was all out of my house, and I was in all 4 showrooms, just me working for the company before I hired help. So I was like, that's why I was like, no more.
So for the showrooms, do you just have to have samples there and then the order gets sent to you and you ship it out? So you don't have to have like inventory within these showrooms?
Yes, exactly. So they would say you have 30 hat styles. There's one of every single hat style. The buyer comes in, the boutique comes in, they pick what styles. They're like, we want to get these 5 hats. We want 6 of each hat. And then the girls working in the showroom enter the order, send it straight to us. We do the charging of the credit card and we do the packing and shipping of it.
So you had a team of what when you were packing and shipping during that time?
1, me.
Yourself?
Yeah. I didn't hire help until December of 24.
Wow. Okay. So what was that like? Like I said, was there ever a time that was like, holy shit, slow down. Like I'm getting too much. I physically cannot do all of this. I can't keep up with the demand.
So I would say there was probably 2 times before I hired help. So one was when I was going viral on TikTok. And that was really great. And that was really exciting. So every night my husband would come and he would help me pack orders and we'd get them boxed up. And
I love this guy. I need to meet him.
No, he's the best. He really is the best. And it's like, some people talk about their husbands. You're like, yeah, sure. I'm sure he's great. No, mine actually is.
Mine's amazing.
No, so he would help me do stuff every night. Like we would have to take both our cars to the post office because there were just so many boxes to get up there. There wasn't enough space in the cars. And we were literally we didn't have any pickups coming. We were taking everything to the post office, dropping it off like every single day.
Right.
So at that point, but never during that time was I like, no, stop. I can't.
Right.
Like I was overwhelmed and I would cry about it, like for sure.
But you figure it out. You have to.
You figure it out. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't want like me crying and being overwhelmed to be taken for like not being grateful. He was like, nobody thinks you're not grateful.
He's like, I promise you're fine. Like this is amazing.
No, so I was that time. So that was probably April, May of 24. And then right before, so our stuff is sold into Buckle, which is in malls. They have about 300 locations. And I got that order when it was just me working myself. And so they ordered about 1,500 hats. And my husband and I were going to go to Europe at the end of the summer for 2 weeks. And this order had to get out right before. And working with these... people call them majors for short in the industry, basically major retailers, anywhere in malls that have a bunch of locations. It's not light work by any means, and it's not the same as working with a boutique. They want bigger discounts. They want more hats. Everything has to be tagged with a retail price tag when you send it to them.
It's like the checklist of things of you have to do X, Y, and Z. And obviously you just have to learn that as you go. Like that's not taught. And like, that's not I took an online class for this. It was like, oh, so what do I need to do for you?
And yeah, and they send you a manual, and you know, they're about 50 to 70 pages long.
Perfect.
You have to read through them. If something's not done right, they charge you money back. They're like, if this is wrong, it's $2 back per hat. If this is wrong, it's $5 or $500 per order. If the shipping is, yeah.
And it's like a whole corporation behind them. Like, people, that is their job, is to look into your order,
Totally.
making sure you're doing everything right as you're sending this out from your home.
Well, yeah, and it's not like, they'll just sweep this under the rug. It's
Right.
like, no.
Yeah.
Someone is looking for something to be wrong so they can charge you back money.
Right.
So when we were packing up those 1,500 hats, we were hand tagging them, boxing them up. I can't remember even how many boxes we had. Probably 30 or so boxes. I can't remember, of hats.
Mm-hmm.
That time, and we're getting ready to go out of the country, and I'm worried, like, are they going to charge me money back? Like, I don't really have a ton of cash flow. Like, I can't.
Right.
They're ordering thousands of dollars of stuff, and they want to be put on payment terms, so they're not going to pay you for 60 days. And so I'm out all this money for another 2 months. I'm still running things out of my house. I'm not really paying myself. So it was just like very stressful. It was so exciting.
Right.
But it was like, like
it's a whole different ball game.
Oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
this is a little stressful. But those 2 times like stick out of my head as being like, whoa, slow down.
Right. I need to learn actually a lot of things, because like I said, there could be a whole corporation coming at me, and I need to make sure I do this right.
Right.
So did Buckle come from a showroom? Did they reach out to you personally? Where did that come from?
So I saw them for the first time ever. It's so funny. So when I did my first wholesale show back in January, first show I was at, day one, I think I made like 1 or 2 sales. Like, I spent the whole day crying in my booth, and I was like, what have I done? I went home. I told my husband, I was like, when do I just give it up and get a real job? Because I hadn't been making any money for a year. Like, genuinely, I was like, that was the first time I'd ever been like, okay, like, maybe I should quit.
Right.
And the next day is when Buckle came by my booth. So my second day ever wholesaling, they stopped in my booth. It was 2 girls. They were very like coy, nonchalant.
Right.
And then they were like, yeah, we're with Buckle if you know them. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, cool.
You know, they're leaving it on like this, hyperventilating. So that's the first time I ever talked to them and got their attention, which I, till this day, am very proud of. I'm like, that was my second day wholesaling. I want to quit the day before. And the second day, I get the attention of this major store that's in malls. Like, even if they never ordered with me, it's like, that
they walked
something.
up to you and saw your stuff. It's the cute, fun outfits. Let's go back to Southwest. Of you were so sad that and look at you now, and that's what probably pulled them in for sure.
But I was like, clearly, I'm like selling something worthy, like selling something that's good enough to get their attention. And then I didn't hear from them, and then they worked with several brands that were in my Dallas showroom. And so when I moved into the Dallas showroom, the first actual show was in June. They came, they looked at my stuff again, and then we knew that they were going to order with us. So then they submitted an order, and then we shipped that in August.
And what was that like, walking into a store and like seeing a hat? Or is it just online only, or where are they in stores everywhere?
Yeah. Buckle, we have stuff in stores and online. Okay. So it was very cool. I didn't see it for probably a month or so, because you ship it to them. It takes them a minute to get to stores. I had gone to Europe, so I was out of the country. But I came back, and it was like, first thing, I'm going to go to Buckle and like see my stuff on the shelves. Yeah. And it was really cool too, because I'd had like friends or people I genuinely like had not talked to in a long time.
Like send photos.
Send pictures. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like this is so cool. And they'd be like, we saw another brand, like we moved your stuff and like put it in front of theirs. Thank you. I was like, y'all are doing the Lord's work out here. Thank you. Yeah. So it was very like surreal. And it's interesting to like revisit those moments, because you get so caught up in your day to day, and it's like, well, now we're doing this, but like we need to be doing that. Like, you keep moving out the goals. And so it's always nice to like revisit the times when it was like still fresh and new. And it's like, okay, hold on, I need to pause and like go back to those moments sometimes, because like genuinely, like if you told me this 5 years ago, I'd be like,
what the hell? You're crazy.
Like, no way. So yeah, it was very, very cool. I was like, I genuinely cannot believe it.
Right. No, that is absolutely amazing. So how do you say, within the past years, how have you stood out as a hat brand, as so many other people are making hats, are duping hats, are ripping other people off? Like, how do you stay unique to your design? And then also, how do you deal with people who steal your designs?
So staying unique to us, it's not been hard, because when I started, like even when we were just selling clothes and I had, 200 followers before anything, I knew that I wanted to have a brand.
Right.
And having a brand is so much different than having a store and selling stuff. Anybody can sell stuff for a little while. Having a brand is what withstands the test of time and also the changing in your products. I was always very, very clear on what this brand was. It was unique. It was yourself. It was loud. It was expressive. It's funny. It's like, it's just, my whole brand is about like, nothing is that serious, dude.
Right. Nothing's that serious in life.
It's not that serious. Like, have fun, enjoy yourself. Like, it's just, life is so much better and so many more good things are going to come to you if you're just having fun. Like, have fun and the rest will follow. So that's always been our brand. And so when we started doing hats, I really focused on making hats to be conversation starters because I think that's
literally fun. No, and that is the perfect way to put it. Yes, I love that.
That's how we market them to everybody because we're like, we made them like for hot girls to get hit on at the bar. Yeah. And now it's like they're for everybody. Like my grandma has our hat that says woke up sexy as hell again. She loves it. All her friends love it. She's like, it's my favorite hat. Yeah. So we just make hats that are funny. That's silly. It's not that serious. And people keep buying them because they're like, every time I wear one of your hats, I get a compliment.
Right. Someone says something. Right. And people are longing for in-person conversations, to say the least. Totally. I think one that's really stuck with me is the I'm not flirting, I'm just cute and talking. Yeah. I love that hat.
That's like one of my favorite hats I've ever made. Yeah. And it's like, looks-wise, it's nothing crazy. It's just the words. But I'm like, I think it's so funny.
Because like from a mile away, like you wouldn't be like, oh, like what does that hat say? And then you read it and you're like, that's awesome.
And so many of our hats we've made to be like that. That like looks one way from further away, but the closer you get, and it's like, oh my God, that's funny. And it's like we make stuff that people just like have to stop you and say something about. And so I feel like that's how we've stood out because, and we try to be unique in that. It's like if I've seen a design or if I've seen a phrase, like we're not going to do it. Right. So that's how we, I feel like, have withstood more and more hat brands coming out. People duping, all of that. The way we deal with people duping our designs, I will say, I think we've gotten pretty lucky because our stuff is so unique.
It's hard to do.
See it everywhere. I think people are scared to dupe it, which is great. Yeah. It's worked out well for us. I mean, people are still going to dupe stuff all the time. And like in the beginning, like the first hat that ever got duped, I can't remember the exact scenario. I was like,
no way.
Crushed. Yeah. So crushed. And I was like, why would people do this? And then what I learned is that as the brand grows, people don't know who they're duping. They don't know that they're duping Haley. Right. They're like, I saw a cute hat online and like, I'm going to remake it.
It's almost like flattering to an extent. Obviously, like create your own design, please. But like it is flattering that like people enjoy it so much. They're like, oh, I want to do that.
Right. And it's not like, it really is not malicious and they weren't out to get you. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are some of those people, but like in general, it's like they saw a cute hat. It's not always like that. No, it wasn't towards you. But if I see someone on Instagram that's like selling something that really is our exact dupe design, I message them and I'm always really nice. I just say, hey, like I see you're selling this hat. This is actually our original design. We're a small business too. Like it's just me and one other employee or two other employees. So if there's any way you could just not continue to sell this, like I would really appreciate it. This is how we make our money as well. And like 99% of the time people are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea it was your design. I will totally take this off my website. Like no harm, no foul.
Right. So, well, good for you for like saying something as well. Cause that was going to be my next question is like, how do you deal with that? Because it's not illegal, right? I mean, no, right? Unless you have it like trademarked, which like you can't trademark every single saying. There's just like no way to keep up with that. But I mean, that is like the best approach to have. Just, message them, hey, love it so much. Like we are a small business, like so sorry, but this is what we're selling.
Yeah. And I've learned that like that, it comes across really well. It's usually received really well. And then at the end, I'll like, so a lot of times they'll come to me like,
if you want to place an order, let me know.
I'm like, Aaron, you can actually sell these. No, they'll come back and they'll be like, oh my God, I didn't know. And I'm a small business and I'm running it this way. And I didn't realize like there's genuinely people who are like, oh, someone on Etsy was selling this design and I bought the design from them, the embroidery design, and put it on my hat. Like they think they rightfully bought it, but someone on Etsy
stole it from you, like, who resold it to someone else.
Nobody knows it, right? And then I don't want anyone getting mad at me. And I'll just end it like, if you ever have any questions, like ask me. I don't know everything, but like I'm happy to share. Like I started out knowing nothing as well, so if I can help anybody else, like I'm more than happy to. And that usually kind of nix it.
I mean, airs it out. Yeah, doesn't really happen again.
People do, but it's like It's so hard being the creative.
Sorry, mine looks better though. At the end of the day. So that is something I want to talk about is manufacturing your stuff, lead time, stuff like that. Have you ever ran into an issue where lead times were crazy? I just feel like even when, I was buying some hats for something of a design, they didn't have the color I wanted and lead times were crazy. Or do you work pretty local with someone, or how are your designs and how are lead times getting things in?
So it depends. So the way that we do it is, if we're looking at the wholesale side of things, we put out our samples. So we're going to go to market next week. We have 10 new hat styles. We do not have them in stock. They're going to be a pre-order. They're going to be shipping in April. So we're going to have our market. We're going to let our other showrooms have their markets. And then we're going to see how many pre-orders did we get. So if for one hat, we got 200 pre-orders, I'll probably order 400 of those hats because people are going to sell them. They're going to need to restock them.
Right.
And so we will always have stuff in stock. And then out of those hats, I usually take about 50 and put them on our retail website. So it's kind of like split inventory. I will say our business is about 99% wholesale. We actually don't have a huge booming retail online business, which I don't know if that does surprise people or not. But
I feel like that would definitely surprise people.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like most of it would have flown through the website, or personally, I thought like you were just renting a space in trade shows when you went, because I mean, I've followed you, you're flying to all different trade shows, but I mean, it's a crazy story. And that's why I love doing these interviews. It's like, you're in a trade show room year round.
Yeah.
In many different places that covers basically the whole nation, because people, travel to those hubs to go to market there and see things there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is crazy. And I mean, I would say that's definitely what changed the game for you is the wholesale.
Yeah, totally. It's grown us so much. The profit margin on wholesale is a lot smaller because we're selling things for a lot cheaper, but we're doing so much more
of it.
Inventory that's really grown our business. So the retail side, it's funny. It's like we're doing so well on wholesale.
Yeah.
Our main focus is retail. It's growing that business because we want to. I love wholesale a lot, and I really love both sides of our businesses because we really are two sides. We're our wholesale side,
right,
and then we're like our website that we're selling to our customers. And I love both sides for different reasons, but like I really, really, really love retail. I love selling to our customers. I love talking to our customers. I love DMing with our customers. And like, I like to hear when you wore a hat and you hooked up
being
with some
the
guy
face and because
he hit
commented on your hat. Yeah.
So it's like, I love to hear that. That's my passion. So that's where I'm like, I want to grow that side so much. It's great that we're doing so well on wholesale, and I want to continue to do that. But
right. But also grow the retail side.
But with that being said, back to the lead times and questions, it's like we don't sell out of hats really a ton on our retail side because we stock a decent amount. They sell a little bit slower. So by the time we can get a reorder in from our manufacturer in China, and just restock them, like we don't really sell out a ton. So we're not dealing with the lead time issue on retail. It's more so wholesale, but I'm usually ordering enough inventory that kind of covers
and like
that.
You do the pre-sales too, that definitely helps out in the end when it comes to wholesale.
Right.
I feel like it's easier to estimate quantities wholesale rather than retail when you could have a TikTok that blows up that gets 1 million views and you're wiped out of everything and you're like, oh shit, I need to restock and it won't be here for a few weeks. And like the time has kind of passed on the retail side. But like you said, wholesale is completely different.
It's totally, and inventory in general, I think is the hardest part of
anything.
Anyone
who has inventory knows that.
You think you know, and then it's like, oh, well, that was so wrong. I ordered way too much. Or it's like, oh my God, we just got these in. Now we're about to sell out. And now we can't get them for another 3 months. Yeah. So they're both hard on both sides for different reasons.
Right. So you said you're working more towards your retail side right now. And I've seen you've done pop-ups at like the Happiest hour.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with that? Is that something you're wanting to do more of? You're looking to do pop-ups more often, or where do you stand there?
Yeah. So we started, the first ever pop-up I did actually was at Truck Yard. I really wanted to do pop-ups at bars. Yeah. And Truck Yard, it's like a great bar in Dallas, outdoors.
Right.
Kind of just very chill vibes. And I called their event coordinator and I left her a message and I was like, I'm going to leave. Like, you didn't answer the phone, but like on this hat brand in Dallas, like before you say no, like I'm begging you, please just look at my Instagram because I feel like our audiences are the exact same. The people who come to your bar are the same people that buy my hats. I was like, so I know you're probably going to say no, but if you'd please just look at my Instagram first.
Right.
And she called me back and she was like, we don't do pop-ups. She was like, but I looked at your Instagram, like you said. She was like, and I think we can work something out. They don't do pop-ups with anybody. They do not allow people to come in for pop-ups, but they allowed me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I did that. And then through that, once you can get one under your belt,
that's all it takes.
It's
everyone knows everyone. That's like, oh, now let me give you their contact. Reach out to them, see what they say.
And you can say, oh, well, I do pop-ups with Truck Yard all the time.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, well, that's a cool bar in Dallas, and we're a cool bar in Dallas. We want you to
we went along.
Yeah, we've got the Happiest Hour, the Avenue, which is like a really local sports bar, which is my favorite bar. Yeah. We've done Hero, which is right by the American Airlines Center. Second Rodeo in Fort Worth. So, like, we love doing pop-ups at bars. It's one of our favorite things. We try to do them like once a month when the weather's good.
Yeah.
This year we do want to do more pop-ups, more in-person events that aren't just pop-ups. We don't really know what yet. We're still brainstorming, but we want to do more like in-person events where people can come and meet and, like, yes, they have the opportunity to buy a hat, which is like great. That's the sales or whatever.
Yeah.
But like really with the main goal being like giving people more community and able to meet more people. Like at our age, it's just like, it's hard to meet people if you don't know
absolutely,
people.
Yeah.
And you don't always want to go out to a bar and have a drink. I mean, I do.
Right.
But it's like,
not everyone.
we need a little change of scenery. So we're kind of working on that this year. We want to do fun in-person events where we can still sell the hats.
Right.
But like diversify what we're
Right.
offering a bit and just give people the opportunity to meet more people in the area.
No, I think that's awesome. And I will be coming to any and all that are in this area because I love that. And I feel like even, Park and Dairy Boy, those, bigger brands are doing, the pop-ups or like trying to do events around building community since they're basically all online. Totally. And people are longing for that community and to just meet with people. And it's like, once people meet you, they're like, that girl's cool as hell. Like, I'm going to buy every single hat. I'm going to keep this going. And it's like, it's just an easier sell when they know who's behind the business.
100%. And I think people are in a space now where they want to support small businesses if they can. And my husband's always said it too. He's like, once people know who's selling it, they're like, oh my God, love that girl. She's so nice or whatever. And like when I meet people at pop-ups, like I'm giving them a hug. And and my best friend always tells me, she's like, one thing about you, she's like, people don't meet you. It's like they talk to you for the first time and they already know you. She's like, there is no warming up. Like, they know exactly who you are from the moment they meet you. She was like, so they really, when people come to pop-ups, like they meet you. They don't meet some persona of you or this different version of you. She was like, and I think like that's what's taken the brand
so far
even further. It's like they like you. And it's like, that's something that you can't teach and you can't put a price on is like giving people someone to like and someone to want to back and want that they want you to succeed so bad. Like, I can't tell you, I don't know what I've done to deserve it. Like the nice messages I get, the nice comments I get, like people are so rooting for me. And now Brooke works for me. They're rooting for us. They love us as a duo. They think we're so funny, whatever. And it's like, maybe we are, maybe we're not, but like clearly we've done something right to show them that. And like the support that we get is like, I really don't think many brands get this sort of backing, which I think is just continuing to take us like further and further.
No, and I couldn't agree. And I think, staying on top of social media or just seeing like Instagram stories of just like what y'all are doing behind the scenes. And it's just like two best friends having fun, like doing something that's amazing that everyone loves, like having the time of their life. Like, don't get me wrong, you're going to work your ass off, but like we are having the time of our life as we're doing it as well. So that's another question I wanted to ask. What is it like working with your best friend, in an atmosphere like this that's not always, a strict 8 to 5 job?
Yeah, it's so great. So when I hired, I was like, the biggest thing for me is I need someone who's a brand fit.
Yeah.
And that's really hard when you meet someone over a Zoom call and then have like one in-person interview. Like, you're never going to know until you hire someone, until you spend that time with someone. So Brooke and I did go to college together, but I didn't really know Brooke. Brooke does our marketing, as you know. And it was like, I thought she would be a fit. I wasn't like dying obsessed with her day one, second one. It's like, I really liked her. I was like, I think she could be a brand fit. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. And like from the second she's come in, she is such a brand fit. Like I've never had to explain the brand to her. Like, tell her like, we need to market more this way because this is our customer. Like, She just knows. She is the customer. She gets it. And so working together, it's like, I didn't realize how much I was going to love Brooke.
Yeah.
She is so fun. And like me and her always say, it's like the problem with us is like, we think everything needs to be fun. But again, like I've said, like that's what the brand is about, like having fun. Have fun.
Even the name, the Happiest, like
Right.
there's no way you can stray away from fun.
Right. And it's like successful follow. If you're doing, like, I genuinely believe that if you're doing, and I'm such like an energy person, like I'm a little woo woo, I'm a little spiritual like that.
Yeah.
So I really genuinely believe, like, if you're putting out good energy, if you are having fun, like you are just going to attract that into you. And like the stupid stuff we post on Instagram that you're saying, it's like people come up all the time at pop-ups. Yes. But like at markets, we meet so many people at markets, and it's like all these businesses that follow us because they're buying the hats. They come up to us. They're like, we love y'all's social media. Like y'all just look at y'all have fun all day. Y'all even work all day. We're like, it's so funny because we'll post like one stupid story a day.
Right. And that's like, that was 5 seconds. And you're like, little do you know we're behind these computers all day busting our ass.
Like we do work. Yeah, her friend came up to our warehouse and was working remote the other day and was like, she was like, I want to come work remote, but like, y'all, I really have to get work done. I was like, do you think we don't work?
Trust me, to keep this going, we absolutely have to work.
Yeah.
But I think that's also a cool thing is to know, I mean, from the outside looking in, I could have told you were best friends for 10 years and you just hired her on. And sometimes that's the best thing is to, you know, just know someone who fits the brand and you're like, I'm going to take a chance. You know, we're not, you know, close or, you know, BFFs right now by any means, but like, look at y'all now. And I also think that's great too, because I feel like it gives you a sense of, hey, this is also work. Like, yes, we're here to have fun, but we're also here to pay the bills. And like everyone needs to understand that and be on the same page. Cause I feel like with boutiques, with, you know, smaller businesses, sometimes that can get lost in the middle of it and you don't know where to make that boundary.
Yeah. Well, and that, I mean, that's the thing. We have a lot of fun. And like, there are definitely times where it's like, okay, we could have toned it back a little there.
Right.
But in general, it's like it's like, I think we both have like a work hard, play hard mentality. It's like we have fun and we have so much fun. We travel to these shows and we go to Nashville and we go to Vegas. It's like, we are out till 3 a.m. We're not posting it, but sometimes we are.
Right.
We're at work the next day at 8. So it's like, and sometimes it's like, oh, took it a little too far last night. But because our jobs, like when we're at these shows, like it is fun and it's talking to people and it's on your feet and it's not like if I knew the next day I had to get a bunch of logistics done, it'd be a different story. But because the next day, like these shows are fun and we are talking to people, it's like we do have fun. But both of us, like Brooke is very clear. She's like, this is your baby. Like, I know this is your baby. And we both want to succeed so bad. And we both have so many goals. Yeah. That it's like, we're going to have fun. And like, of course, guilty as charged, going to take it too far occasionally.
Occasionally, it is what it is.
But at the end of the day, it's like, we want to hit new goals all the time. We want to be in new stores. Like, we want to continue to grow. And we're both very aligned on that. So it's we're never having to like have a sit down like, hey.
Right.
Let's get back on track. It's like, we can have fun. We're going to have our fun. And then we're back on track.
Back to business. Yeah. And I think that's another thing with like showrooms or even just going to markets. Like I said, and you mentioned before, is like people travel in from all over to go to the Dallas market or Vegas market, LA market. Like there are people flying in for their company or their boutique or whatever they're wanting to do. So they're also there to get work done, but also have fun too. And sometimes I feel like that's when the best connections are made. It's like, hey, what are y'all doing after this? Like, do you want to go get a drink? And it's like, yes, we're drinking, we're out, we're having fun, but it's like, these are like my partners that I'm like trying to sell my business into. And like, I feel like not as many people take it as business oriented as like in strategic as it really could be in the end, because it's like building these relationships sometimes means going out with them, having a good time, and then, you know, things work out from there and you build a great friendship, and that's that. Yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like at these markets, we're not the only ones having fun, whatever. Like our buyers are too. They're coming, they drink during the show. Every single booth passes out alcohol. They're drinking, they're coming up to us. They've had mimosas and high noons and everything. It's like, they're having a lot of fun too. So it's like, we are having a lot of fun together, and going out after them or seeing them at the bar and just running into them. And then it does like develop these friendships. And like my husband always says, like he heard from someone in his industry, it's like, no, the real relationships in business are the ones you make howling at the moon.
Yes,
it's like
literally.
You are going to become more connected and better friends with that person in these moments that are not business settings. Right. You're going to really get to know each other and then continue working from there. You can go to a business lunch or you can go to a coffee. Right. It's not going to be the same as the times that you're really out, like figuring out who this person is, having fun together. is what develops, I think, even further business relationships.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Okay, one of my last questions is obviously y'all are now selling into Dillard's. So you have Buckle under your belt and now Dillard's is coming to you. I'm guessing that was through another showroom as well. What was it like to see Dillard's pop up and be like, we want to sell your hats in a huge department store?
It was crazy because actually when we got the news, we hadn't talked to Dillard's at all. We hadn't seen them. They, to my knowledge, they didn't come into the showroom, which is how it does work sometimes as well. They, one of the girls who worked in our showroom, she wasn't actually even the showroom owner. She was a rep, but she had a friend who moved. She worked in some department in Dillard's and she moved into the buying accessories department. And she, you know, messaged with her friend and she was like, do y'all need hats? And the girl was like, oh my God, we need hats. Yeah, you're selling hats. And so Brooke and I were at a show in Nashville and it was the worst show we have ever done, ever been to. Everyone in the whole industry said this about this specific show. It was really bad. We had like 2 sales. Bad. But whatever.
Yeah, you're like,
fun.
I mean, you know, you can't win them all.
You can't win them all. And like, what are we going to do? You can't do anything about it. So
right.
Whatever. So we were sitting there like, oh, this show sucks, whatever. I get a text and it's like, I think your hats are going to be in Dillard's from the rep in Dallas. And then she's like, as in, no, your hats are going to be in Dillard's. Like, I'm sending you over the paperwork right now. I was like, that's how fast it was. Like, I was like, I was like, what? And I told Brooke and she was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And then like an hour later, she's like, oh my God, I'm like just computing what you were saying. Like,
Dillard's.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, to hear such a big name that everybody knows, that's big. And like from the side of me, you know, that side of me that has an ego is like, when you can tell people that, like,
no, that's amazing because like, obviously Buckle, huge deal. But like when you got that, you're probably like, this is like as good as it gets, as big as it gets. This is amazing. And then not only do you have that, you're having Dillard's come in. Like that is crazy. When I saw y'all post about that, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like that is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I could only imagine what the high of that was. Like happy hour for everyone. Let's go.
No, yeah, we definitely went to dinner. We definitely went to the bar. No, it was, I could never, again, it's like you take yourself back 5 years. It's like, they're going to be selling your stuff in Dillard's and you're just like, what? And what's, again, the side of me that it's like, sometimes you feel like you have to prove yourself to people. It's like, and when I tell people who I don't know, like I have a hat business. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's cute.
Right. No,
that's a
yes.
cute business. You like, you run it out of your house.
Yeah, it's
like
sold in Dillard's.
And they're whatever. Yeah, it's like, no, we sell into Dillard's. Yeah. And then they're like, what? I'm like,
now you want to listen. Right.
Yeah, listen up. I'm speaking now. But yeah, so that it's just like, from a selfish standpoint, like it gives you a little bit of like credit behind your name, which I think is really nice too. But like just the whole concept of it, I was shocked. It was so exciting. Yeah. It was like, this is like a pinch me moment.
So what do you think was the hat that like drew them in? Like what was the biggest one they ordered? Are they ordering, you know, multiples?
Yeah. So they ordered 5 different styles of hats. The ones that are doing the best for them right now, I don't know like what really drew them in. Because they're a department store, they are a little more like confined to what they can do. Like they're obviously not going to do, like they don't really do our alcohol style hats.
I feel like they're a little more modest.
Right. And they just have to be. That's just the guidelines have to go by, which our hats I wouldn't really say are modest.
There are some that work and that's all that matters.
But the ones that are doing really well for them right now is we have a camo hat that says Brat on it.
Love.
And then we have a tan hat with a little weenie dog that says Hair of the Dog.
Love.
And those are doing really well. So I don't know if that's what kind of drew them in. But they're doing really well with them. So I'm like, okay, let's keep
it going. Yeah. And then quantity wise, what did they ask for? What kind of numbers were you sending over?
It was actually smaller than our original order with Buckle, which people might find interesting. I think we sent around 1,100 hats.
Okay. Yeah.
And they wanted more, but they wanted them on like a 3-week turnaround. And usually when the department stores, the major stores are ordering, they're telling you what they want, and then I'm ordering it from China specifically for them. Right. So they can order a lot more, and they're going to get it in 3 months. Right. Dillard's was like, we want the hats now. What do you have in your warehouse?
And you're like,
and so we were a lot more like confined to the options that we can give them because
Right.
they weren't going to order anything that had less than like 150 hats in stock.
Right.
So we sent them what we had in stock and they kind of picked from there. But yeah, I think we started with 1,100. They've already placed a reorder that we sent this week.
That's awesome. That there's already
the dog.
a reorder.
I know. We were like, okay, that was pretty quick.
Because like sometimes you never know. It could be like a one-time thing and they're like, thank you so much.
Right.
This was great.
Right.
But a reorder, that's like,
it's like,
we're
okay,
in. We're
it's
in.
like- well, and the thing is, it's like Dillard's, like my mom was like, my mom's so excited. Anything we do, it doesn't matter. But
Right.
she's like, Dillard's. Because it's like, it's a department store. It's
Right,
a little
you
bit
wouldn't-
older crowd.
you
I was
wouldn't
like,
think, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, I don't know how the hats are going
Right.
to sell. Like, if it's only one time, at least we say we did
Right.
it. But and I'm like, oh my God, wait, they're actually selling them. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
So we did go into it with like zero expectations because I was like, I don't know if people are going to go to Dillard's and buy our hats. Apparently they are.
But they're a show stop. You walk by and you're like, wait,
That's
that
what
was
I
cute.
think.
Yeah,
So
I think
I'm-
that's what would bring everyone, especially in the Dillard's area, because like you said, it's a little older demographic
Right.
who's not looking for a camo hat that says brat.
Right.
But I'm so glad they're doing amazing, it sounds like.
No, me too. It was. We're surprised. We had no expectations, and it's going well. So we're like, okay, let's keep that.
Right, let's
more
keep
and
it
more.
That's awesome. Okay, the last question I want to finish with is where are you wanting to go in 2026? I know you mentioned focusing a little bit more on retail. Like I said, you're selling into Buckle, Dillard's, like you're doing amazing. But what is one thing in 2026 that you're really diving into for the Happiest?
I would say apparel.
Manifest it. Come on.
Manifesting it. Apparel. We want to
Okay.
do apparel. And I'm not just talking. So we did a few like crop tees, crop tanks. I'm like, I want to make cardigans and sweaters and sweat sets. Like I want to make them. I want to manufacture them. I want them to be
Sweat set,
so
please.
cool. So that is my biggest goal, the thing I am most scared of.
Yeah.
But that I really, Brooke and I are just like, we can do it and we really think we can do it better than anybody else.
Right.
And so that is like putting that out in the ether, putting
Yes.
that out into the world that we're going to do apparel and it's going to be the sickest thing you've ever seen.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. I will be notifications on everything. I
Timer
will be yes.
Alert me.
Right. This will be going on Instagram, on YouTube. So
Perfect.
you have to lead up and you have to end up coming out with it. There's
Yes.
no ifs, ands, or
Oh,
buts.
I know. Now we're out on the internet. I have to.
Right.
No
You
other
have
choice.
to. That's awesome. Okay. Where can everyone find you on social media?
We are at Shop the Happiest everywhere. Our website is shopthehappiest.com.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure interviewing you and the Happiest. I'm staring at all the hats right now and it's literally amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in once again and go shop the Happiest. Bye guys.